A few months ago, I made a video discussing the things that you thought were attractive, but actually weren't. Now in that video, we mostly discussed style and physicality. But recently I was on a coaching call and the guy was telling me what he's been doing to attract more women in his life and also build his sexual market value. And little did he know, he was repelling women the whole entire time. That's when I realized it's not only your image, but also your behavior that can be a huge turnoff. Guys, if you don't know, we're in the ick economy, meaning that these icks that women find in men are essentially just behavioral turnoffs. And trust me, I've seen it on social media. Women every single day are adding to their new list of icks within men. Now in this video, I'm not gonna go over 100 icks or things that you could be doing wrong. Instead, I'm gonna focus on a select handful that most guys are probably doing and the ones that I've seen the most. And you guys might be saying, oh, if you're handsome and she's really attracted to you, then behavioral icks don't matter, she'll just get over it. Well, let me tell you here, my friend, that even if you're the most handsome guy in the world, if you have too many of these, trust me, it's not gonna even matter. Now, the first turnoff is what I like to call overt demonstrations of higher value and status signaling, mostly through money and material items. Now, the reason why this is a turnoff is because it simply just looks weak. It looks like you're trying to overqualify yourself to a woman. Whenever you're in that frame of overqualifying, that's just overall super unattractive. And in my case, I've actually done this before and I see tons of other guys do it too. I think the biggest example is whenever you have a nice car. Back before when you had just a normal car, she could meet you at the date. You weren't gonna pick her up, right? But once you got a nice car, you wanna show it off, you wanna park in the open parking spot, you wanna pick her up from the date just to show off your nice car. Just these little things that show you're trying to qualify yourself through showing off just material items and or possessions. Trust me, if it's not discovered naturally, then it's gonna come off as you're trying too hard, and that overall is just a turnoff. Another huge example is these money spread pics. You ever seen the ones where they spread the money on their arm or maybe like the phone or just holding some sort of money? I really don't see this too often anymore, but every now and then I'll come across guys like flexing money and I'm like, bro, this is literally the most pathetic thing you can do as a man. Maybe if you're doing it for business purposes so you can like sell something to show you have money, fine, go ahead, do it. But not only does this make you a target towards other men, because other men don't aspire to that, they're envious, they're jealous. Then also women find that corny. It's just a corny act. Just whenever you have something, just let it naturally be discovered. I promise you that's the best way to go about it. Don't go out your way to try to showcase your items. You just got a new car. Don't be posting pictures with your car in every single story, every single Instagram post, bro. Trust me, I know your logical brain thinks that's attractive, but it's not. Let women discover things naturally about yourself and don't go out your way to qualify yourself. The woman should always be trying to qualify to you. That's a frame we want to hold. Not you qualifying to her, but her qualifying to you. Now, actually, the same goes for bragging and boasting. If you're an accomplished guy, if you're doing well for yourself, if you have a lot of things going about you, if you're on a date with a woman, never brag and boast about yourself. If anything, that's one thing that actually turns a ton of women off and one that I've heard consistently. Now with me, for example, I always get told that they were expecting me to brag and boast and talk about myself a lot. However, when I didn't do that, they were more intrigued and they were more curious. Like, this guy seems pretty accomplished on the surface. Obviously he does well for himself, but he's not talking about it a lot. He's more interested in me, all right? And that actually makes her more attracted to you. So downplay your success. Do not boast and brag about yourself and let things be naturally discovered about you in terms of your material items and possessions. Up next, we gotta talk about overt pre-selection. And we all know what pre-selection is, right? Is whenever women find other men attractive, whenever other women are around them, or they can see that they get other women in some regard. However, men took this concept and just started applying it in the absolutely wrong way that actually turns women off. A lot of guys try to show overt pre-selection through taking pictures with multiple girls, through putting these pictures on their dating app profiles, through putting these pictures on their Instagram. And the guys think, oh yeah, they're gonna see me with other girls, other hot women, and this is gonna make them more attracted to me, more intrigued. But I've consistently found that this actually isn't the case. Now, the only exception is if you're a promoter, if you're hosting or throwing events that involve women around, then yes, having women around you and showcasing that is gonna help you from a job perspective, which you obviously have to showcase, and it's congruent to who you are. However, if you're a random guy in the middle of nowhere taking pictures with random women that you find on vacation and or hiring models to take photo shoots with you, bro, trust me, that is super unattractive and women are eventually gonna catch on, man. I see some of these pictures too and like the guy just looks out of place. Like you can tell that the guy either paid or asked those women to take a picture with him, and now they're trying to show off. Now what the guy is trying to do is showcase like, hey, I'm pre-selected, I'm around women, but actually to most smart people, it comes off like you actually get no woman whatsoever. Like you just paid or bought this woman out to take a picture with you because you look that out of place. Now here's one thing you gotta remember about pre-selection, and that is women are subconsciously attracted towards men who showcase signs that they could get other women, and or that person just knows that they could get other women. There's also something else within attraction, and that is women are attracted to men who could cheat on them. That's another sign of indirect or subconscious sort of pre-selection. You don't want to be too overt about it. If you're enjoying this content, you're going to be mind blown by my Patreon. As a supporter, you'll get access to now over 100 videos of in-depth dating insights, valuable self-improvement tips, and juicy uncut content you won't find anywhere else. And no, you won't break the bank. You're going to get access to everything for the literal price of a sandwich. This is a great way to support me and my work so that I can keep creating high quality content for you. I'm engaging with my Patreon community and posting new videos every single week. So if you want more value and exclusive access, head over to my Patreon page. I'll leave a link down below. Now, back to the video. Now with this new age of dating apps, social media, digital media, we have to talk about texting. A lot of guys think that texting back fast actually makes them look more attractive, right? Guys, we're in 2024. If you guys don't know already, nice guys finish last. Let me say it again. Nice guys finish last. You texting back too fast consistently shows a lot of neediness and eagerness, which can actually turn a lot of women off. I don't make the rules, I just report them. So how do we actually fix this? Instead of texting her back really fast, even if she texts you back fast, what you need to do is sometimes take a break, take your time, get back to her in 2, 3, 4 hours. But for the most part, you wanna mirror her responses. Now, if a woman is texting you back fast, like I said, you wanna take quite a bit of time to text back every now and then. You don't have to do this every time, but let's say a woman is texting you back every 2 to 4 hours, 2 to 5 hours, but you text back every 30 minutes, every hour, you know, relatively fast in comparison to her. Once again, this is making you look needy, this is making you look unattractive, and this is making you look too available, which is overall just a big unattractive trait. So instead, you wanna mirror her responses. She takes 2 hours, you take 2.5. She takes 3 hours, you take 4. So you're not exactly mirroring her exactly, but every few messages you gotta throw in like an oddball, like a fast message or a slow message. You gotta make it unpredictable to the point where she doesn't notice that you're mirroring her. So I'm not sure if you guys ever watched the original Hulk movie, like back in the day, like not the original, but like the 2008, 2010 Hulk. And basically the concept of the story is the fact that the Hulk was mean to everybody else, but to the one girl, he was nice to, right? He had his soft side, his softer side at least. And that was like his kryptonite almost, if we compare that to the Superman story. I say this to say that being alpha, having too high masculinity, having too much of that alpha mindset and that dominance can actually be a turnoff to a lot of women. Now here's the reason. As a man, of course you want to be dominant, alpha, you want to be the leader, but with the woman, specifically that one girl that you're dealing with, the one who you actually like, you do need to show more of a soft side, more of a romantic side, but still in a masculine way. Whenever you're too alpha, you're too cold, you just come off too distant. Women really can't connect with you on an emotional level. You really don't give the vibes of that of a provider or protector, right? And this is more so a woman who you want to keep around long term, keep in mind. So if you don't care about keeping a woman around long term, you're just a pump and dump guy, then this doesn't apply to you. However, if you're a guy looking to keep women around long term, you gotta have that sort of Hulk mentality to where, yeah, you can be alpha in the outside world, but for your girl, you gotta show a little bit of your romantic side. Show experiences, go out on dates, do nice things together. I'm not telling you to be a simp, but you only do that for somebody who has earned the affection from you and who deserves it. Now, also, I'm not telling you to be too vulnerable, because that's also on the opposite end of the spectrum that can actually make you look more unattractive and can actually be a turnoff to a lot of women. So don't be like emotionally vulnerable. No, just show adventure, just show a little bit of romanticism. If that's even a word, I'm not sure it is. But overall, have that mentality and you'll actually start to keep more women around in your life, and it won't be a masculinity ick. So we talked about the icks that repel women. Now in this video, we're gonna talk about how you can actually attract them without even opening your mouth. So be sure to watch that video next.